Welcome back, Bobcats. It's Monday, April 6th, and we have to talk a little bit about our changes for this week. I want you to look at this schedule. I sent it as a standalone document to Seesaw, but it's here also in the lesson, and we've just changed up your weekly schedule a little bit. Hopefully this will be easier to understand and you can see exactly what needs to happen each day. We've got it divided into subjects with reading, math, journaling in your writing notebook, read aloud, social studies and science, and specials. And each day as you go down for this week, you will see what is required of you. And also notice Friday, there's no school, so there won't be any assignments on Friday. It's a holiday for you. As we go every day, I will refer back to this schedule and I will have it in the lesson. So let's break it down into all the different subject areas. Reading from now on is you finding something to read, either from Raz Kids, Epic, your own chapter books, your own choice books, finding a quiet spot and trying to read for at least 30 minutes. We're going to talk a little bit about what's must do and what is may do for reading. The must do is reading 30 minutes each day, like I just said, and each week, I would like you to complete at least one Raz Kids story and quiz. And I can check on Raz Kids, so there's no need for you to take any pictures of anything. I will see what you have done on Raz Kids. I've already noticed that some of you have been reading on there and taking quizzes, so awesome. The may do section is you can continue to keep a reading log if you want of all your extra minutes. You can do the reading assignment in those work from home packets, but we will no longer be doing those as part of your assignment. You have it for this week. If you want to work through it, great, but there's no reason to send me any pictures of it. Then for math, we will always have a must-do section also. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from now on, you will have a math lesson from your math workbook. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's when I want you to do Redbird, okay? The may do, if you want something more to do, if you're bored and you're looking for something else, you can do extra math. I've also noticed the improvement that some of you have been making in those. Congratulations. You can do the math assignment that's in the work from home packet, and you can go back to those countdown math packets. None of that is an assignment. None of it needs to be a picture, but if you want to work on it, if you have any questions about it, just let me know. So let's start today's math lesson. We're looking at how perimeter and area are connected. So let's take a look at this question. Why can two rectangles have the same perimeter but then have different areas? I'll let you think about that for a second. Okay, here's an example of this. Here we have two rectangles. They have different lengths and widths, don't they? But let's figure out the perimeter. So for the first one, we've got 8 plus 8 plus 6 plus 6, and that equals 28, right? And then to find the area, we know that we take 8 times 6, length times width, and that's 48. All right, now let's go down to this next rectangle. Looks totally different, doesn't it? But we have 10 plus 10 plus 4 plus 4 for the perimeter, and that equals 28. Look at that. Those two rectangles look totally different, but they have the same perimeter. Do they have the same area? 10 times 4 equals 40. No. So we've got two rectangles, same perimeter, but different area. Here's an example. Turn to page 851 now in your math worksheets. The swim team put its trophy on a table that has an area of 12 square feet. List all of the possible lengths and widths the table could have. So I'm going to ask you to stop the video. On page 851, write down all the possible answers, and then when you have the answers, continue the video. Here we go. Here are all the possibilities. 1 times 12 equals 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and then they switch it around. 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 1 is 12. So all of these are different possibilities for the area of 12. And you can write them as factors in a multiplication problem. Just like that. Hopefully you already had that filled out. Now let's go on to page 852 with example number 2. Find the rectangle with the greatest area whose perimeter is 14. So now all the perimeters are the same, but the areas will be different. So let's take a look at the 3 drawings. We have 6 plus 6 plus 1 plus 1 equals 14. 5 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 equals 14, and 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 equals 14. All the perimeters are the same, but let's see if that's true with the areas as well. So stop the video, complete example 2 on page 852, and then you can start the video to check your work. Here we go. The second one is 2 times 5 is 10, and the third drawing is 3 times 4, which is 12. So we have areas of 6, 10, and 12 with all the perimeters being the same. The greatest area is 12 square units, so the rectangle with the greatest area is 3 units by 4 units, which equals 12 units. Now, on pages 852 to 853, you have problems 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to ask you to stop the video right now and complete those problems. When you're ready, start the video again and you'll be able to correct your answers. Here we go. So if you notice, 1 and 2, those are the factors of 9, correct? And same with 14. Looking at 3 and 4, again, those are the factors of 16 and 20. Did you find them all? That's quite a long list for number 3 and 4. For 5 and 6, it asks you to find the perimeter and area for each square or rectangle. I'm looking at number 5 and 6 there. They put the perimeter, but they're missing the area. So we've got 4 times 4 is 16 square units for number 5. And 2 times 1, 2 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 16 square units. And number 7, what do the figures in exercise 5 and 6 have in common? They both have the same area, but they have different perimeters. Problem solving. We're going to do the same thing again. You read the problems, number 8 and 9 on page 854. Stop the video, and then you can, when you're ready, you can correct. Here you have your answers. We've got all the factors of 24 there. And which has the greatest area? 1 times 24. Which has the greatest perimeter? 1 times 24, because it'd be 24, 24, 1, and 1 for the perimeter. Now I would like you to skip problems 10, 11, and 12 on page 854, and then turn to the homework pages. Okay, your homework for today is 855 to 856, and you can see all the problems are just on 856, numbers 1 through 7. When you have completed it, please take a picture of 856 only. Put it on Seesaw or email it to me. Do not take pictures of any of the other pages that we just completed. And now the change for writing. I want you to use your blue notebook that I sent home. And if you don't have that anymore, just use another notebook or sheet of paper. But every week you're going to be given a topic, and you can write about that topic in your writing notebook. You may also choose your own topic, because sometimes the topics that are given are hard to write about. You need to know about what you're writing about. And so try to keep a diary of what your life is like right now. It's kind of crazy, isn't it? And it'll be so interesting later on in life when you look back and see what was happening to you during this time in your life. You're not required to take a picture of this unless there's something you really want to share with me. So every day you're going to start at the top of your page with today is, and then put the date. So for today, you're going to put today is Monday, April 6th, 2020. The topic this week that we decided on is distance learning. What do you think about it? What do you like about it? What do you wish that we could do? And so you can write about that. And as the week goes on, if you'd like to write about other things, that's great too. But I'd like you just to keep a journal of what your life is like right now. The next section on our table is the read aloud. I tried to do this last week and it just didn't work, and now I found a different way to hopefully make it work. So every day I'm going to read another chapter in our read aloud book. I will attach it, the reading, to Seesaw, and you can just sit back and enjoy. You don't have to take any pictures. You don't have to write any response unless you want to send me a message about what you think about what's happening. And I'm going to pick up where we left off, chapter 21, in Framed. Science is going to be today, but if you noticed on our schedule, science and social studies will be every other day. And it'll usually be brain pop for either one or some kind of activity. Our next unit that we were going to do in science is magnets and electricity. So I picked out a brain pop video on magnetism. I'd like you to watch that today, and then I'd like you to take the quiz that comes right with it. Here is the link for it. Otherwise, you can just go to BrainPop and search magnetism. And then finally, specials. If you notice on the bottom of the table is the specialists: art, music, Fayed, Mrs. Hotchkiss, okay? And what we decided as fourth grade teachers is, if we always had art on Monday, that's when you're going to do the art activity. If you had Fayed on Tuesday, that's when you're going to do the Fayed activity. Now, I know that Mr. Manbrick has a log and you can continue to do that, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed by all of these posts that are on there for activities. Just do the activity that you would usually do if you were in school. So Monday's art, Tuesday Fayed, Wednesday music, Thursday Fayed, and Friday music and Mrs. Hotchkiss. You will also notice at the bottom of the table that there's optional activities. There were some students who were like looking for more to do. So I'm also going to attach to Seesaw a table that has virtual field trips that you can go on. You can also continue to work on your research. Use the internet. Answer your questions there. Put it together either in a PowerPoint or a written document. I know that Michael already has his done for me. You can continue to work on any of those pages from the work from home packet. You can continue to work on the countdown math sheets. Other optional activities are Mr. Rowland's activities, Mrs. Conway's activities. So I don't want you to be overwhelmed by all of those different activities. Now, if you went to Mrs. Theobald, she has activities for you. If you went to, let's see, Mrs. Haflin, she has activities for you. those, you just need to look at those and complete those for those teachers as well. So that's it for Monday. The lesson was a little bit longer because there was a lot of new things. From now on, the lesson will be very short. You're done. Go out and play. If you have any questions, there's my email address and my phone number. Have a great day.